Be sure and tell them Large Marge sent ya.
In the 90s, we were just teeny tykes. We liked our movies and our bikes. We wanted to be DJs, but we were just teeny gals. So we went off to college and we remained as pals. 20 years later, we're still watching flicks and we're bringing you the feeling bit by bit. Sweetie and Sweetie are here to say it's the Large Marge Santa's podcast. Hey.
It's a festival.
Festival.
The festival, you heard the man.
It's charming. What's it called?
What's it called? It's called, Waynestock. It's called Waynestock.
Waynestock.
Who's going to be at Waynestock?
Aerosmith and Pearl Jam.
Who else?
Me. And Wayne. And
Van Halen.
wow, Van Halen, who else?
Yeah. Who else?
An old man fashioning a kayak out of a log.
What?
No!
Hey guys, welcome to the Large Marge Santa's podcast, your favorite podcast where two sweetie sisters talk about their favorite flicks from childhood. I'm Sweetie.
And I'm Sweetie.
And today we're moving right along in our sequel September month.
Moving on up.
And next on the list is
Wayne's World 2. Wayne's World 2. Party time 2. Excellent. Dose. Due.
Dolce. No, that's caramel. I don't know.
I just did French, Spanish, and Italian.
Wow, you're so smart.
Yeah, I'm trilingual.
Um,
Quattrolingual.
It's a lot of languos.
Yeah, just kidding.
Alrighty. So, Wayne's World, released in 1993.
Yep, wrote that down.
The first one was 91.
Two?
92.
I think this was immediate.
Another
sequel.
one that was
Remember when
immediate.
we read
yeah.
about it before. Oh my god, my book's all wet.
Fuck.
Wayne's World would be totally in our other book too.
Probably, yep.
FYI.
So, yeah. So, pretty great sequel. We've always loved it a lot.
Yeah, definitely one. I don't know, man. I mean, this one is more just like joke after joke with like not a ton of substance and way more parodies.
Right. Yep. So it's a lot of little bits that kind of go together, but not really. And then just a whole lot of movie references. Right. So if it's funny because of that, but I think we just, there's just these lines seem to just be so much more quotable to me. Like if you go on IMDb and you go to the quote section, all of them are just so funny. Right. And they're all like these separate little bits. So it's not, you don't need them in the bigger context of the movie. I feel like they're all just funny on their own.
Right.
These little parts. So I think that's why it spoke to us so much.
And what I like about this one is that, okay, I think when we did the first one, we talked about how like there were these like, you know, like swing and like party on, and they had all these like little things that were really like from those characters, and that was like the whole part of the movie and sort of like the quotable kind of stuff from the first one. And they didn't like lean on that so much for this one, which they easily could have done, right?
Yeah.
Successful sequel, you like just duplicate what you did before because people want to see more of it. But they really took this in like a different direction.
They did. They did.
Not to that like frame this as some sort of masterpiece, though it like sort of is to me. But like so enjoyable because you get all the characters again. Awesome. Excellent. You get more of like the hard rock like sort of references and like that kind of fun stuff.
Excellent.
Tons of classic movie references.
Excellent.
No Cassandra and lace outfits though. Fail.
Not excellent.
No.
Right. So I feel like in the year
And no
between
Phil.
this
Where'd Phil go?
Where'd Phil go? What the fuck? He's partied out. Maybe he died from he's too partied out. Yeah, I guess lace decided to become not a popular form garment for in the
1 year later.
In the year,
she's all about leather, and I'm like, Cassandra, come on.
she's harder
No,
now.
that's
She's
not
got
you.
a harder edge. I don't know.
She dumps her band. She dumps her lace. I mean, who is she really?
I know. Yeah, it is a little upsetting. We'll talk about it. But yeah, so totally applaud them for going a different direction. So let's talk about that different direction right now. Let's do it.
All right. It's time for the Sweetie Synopsis. Yeah.
Sweeties.
A lot of people's girlfriends are in there.
Excellent. Wayne Campbell and Garth Algar are back. It is a year later from the end of the previous film, Wayne's World. The boys have now moved out of their parents' homes and have moved their Wayne's World studio and home to a nice spacious loft in downtown Aurora, Illinois.
Basically, they've grown up.
They have.
Right?
So they become adults, and they're kind of searching for that thing that happens when you are kind of an adult, but not really, and you think that you need something called purpose.
Right. Because what are we thinking they are now? Like 26, 7?
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Wayne's kind of like lost. He's like, I feel like everyone's trying to get me to do something with my life, but I don't really know what it is. And
Wait, hold up. How do they make money again?
from the show, advertisements
How
on
do
the
you
show.
make
I
money
just
on
feel
cable
like
access?
he is doing something with his life, and like this is their job. Their job is to make this cable access show
Yeah.
and do it. So, I mean, that's enough purpose for me, but whatever.
He just wanted more.
Yeah, he just wanted more. So, so the whole crux of the movie is basically Wayne trying to figure out what this thing is. So one night in his dreams, he's visited by a half-naked Indian man who takes him to the desert, unknown desert. It's just a desert as far as I know.
It looks like the Kalahari, I just want to say.
Oh, wow. You know your
I
deserts.
have no idea, but that's a good one to like trot out if like you want to make people think you're smart.
Sure. It's not
Looks like
obvious.
the sands of the Kalahari.
like the Gobi.
Well, I think that was one of the ones that like Far and Away or like one of those movies.
There's a Mario Kart course, the Kalahari, with the trains.
Big question:
good
where
one.
is the Kalahari?
Asia? Africa?
No, I think Gobi is the one in Asia. I think it's one
You're
of
the one in
lesser
Asia.
African deserts.
All right.
Good one.
What about the Sahara? That has the Sahara and the...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think the Kalahari is the bottom.
Oh boy. Okay. A lot of deserts. We'll look it up. So he's visited the crazy naked, not crazy. He's not crazy. He's totally relaxed. I don't know.
He's relaxed.
I don't know why he's so
He
crazy.
should be.
He takes him to Jim Morrison, who tells him, like, ask me a question, Wayne. And Wayne's like, all right, what should I do with my life? And Jim Morrison tells him, you're going to put on a concert. It confirmed the Kalahari Desert is in Africa. Thank you, sweetie. Jim Morrison says you're going to put on a concert in Aurora, Illinois. And Wayne's like, what? How do I get the bands to come? And Jim says, if you book them, they will come. Feel the Dreams reference. And so that's it. So Wayne's like, all right, cool. It's good enough for me. So they start making the plans to do this concert. Oh, and Jim tells them to like find this guy, Del Preston in England. He'll help you put on the concert. So Garth and Wayne fly to England and they meet Del Preston, who's like this crazy
He's
old
crazy.
concert
He's
guy.
definitely crazy.
But at first he just seems like kooky, crazy, like he's old, crazy,
Yeah.
not like crazy.
Right.
But it's a good part. And so they bring him back and then they start the plans to get this concert underway, which is they are naming Wayne Stock. Wayne Stock. So they go to see Cassandra, who is now working on her new album with her fancy new record producer, Bobby. Played by Christopher Walken. And Wayne tells them about Wayne Stock, and Bobby's like, who's going to be there? And he's like, oh, and he does the classic movie trope of just like looking around the room and naming things that you see. So he sees a couple CDs. He's like, Pearl Jam and Aerosmith. And they're like, wow, cool. And then somebody's got like a Van Halen shirt on, like that one. And then he like keeps looking around and he's like, and an old man fashioning a kayak out of a wooden log? No. It's so random. And then like Rip Taylor, and that's how they get the concert together. So that's who's coming, and Cassandra says she'll play. So that's all well and good.
That's cool.
So they got the act, so they just got to book them. So now they're doing all that other stuff, getting the permits and stuff. So the rest of the movie is kind of just all these little bits involved with getting the concert together. Meanwhile, Bobby's kind of making moves on Cassandra.
Sounds similar to the first one.
Yes, with Benjamin.
Mm-hmm.
But in Bobby's case, his motivation is that they want to get Cassandra out of Aurora, Illinois, move her to L.A., where like the real music scene is or whatever, and she wants to stay in Aurora because she's got a boyfriend. Right. So Bobby's like, I'll take care of the boyfriend. Like, I'll get rid of him. Blah blah blah. So that's his plan.
Who wouldn't fall in love with like ghosty face Christopher Walken?
It was like it's still actually a little. I mean, okay, it's a little less upsetting to me now because Christopher Walken's such like a funny. Because we know him as like a great character, like an actor.
Back in the day, what was he in, like Deer Hunter or something?
He was in a bunch of
Deliverance?
stuff. Yeah, a bunch of stuff.
Was he
No,
like
not
some
Deliverance,
like
but
Hot Rod or something? No, he
he's
never
just so
was,
funny.
right?
Like he's just like kooky. I don't know. I can't explain it. But now he just has such like a heavy thing about him where you're like, Christopher Walken is amazing, you know? And back when I was little, I was like, Christopher Walken is terrifying. And it just really freaked me out that Cassandra was like, yes, I will marry you, even though Wayne wasn't some like stud muffin Studleyson, but at least he was young. I don't know. It just really upset me. I was very upset by it when I was little.
I didn't get it at all.
Yeah, so that's that. So let's see. Wayne spies on Cassandra and like sees Bobby like kiss her on the cheek. It's not even anything like crazy, but he flips out and shows
jealous man
Cassandra the pictures. Yeah,
and like, hello, Wayne, communication. Just fucking ask her. Like, he's just like thinking about stuff all the time. And like, I get he's a little insecure, like he always has been. Wayne insecure, but like, I'm telling you, relationships are built on communication. Wayne, just talk to her. She said she wasn't cheating, and she wasn't.
Just like Cassandra's advice to Garth on the first one. Just talk to her.
Yeah,
talk to her.
Talk to her. Talk to her. Man, he really wails.
I'm not 100% sure on your Cassandra accent.
That's what she says.
No, it sounds like you sound like Short Round from Temple of Doom, not Cassandra.
That's pretty close because she has sort of like that. This is going to be horribly racist, but that like Asian accent where you say like L's for R's.
No, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Okay. Moving on to the less racist conversation. So let's see. So they Cassandra and Wayne kind of break up, and Cassandra's like mad at him. They do break up.
He breaks up with her.
Okay, right. And then she goes off to LA, whatever, that whole thing. And then at some point, and then Wayne Stock is like started, and none of the bands are showing up. And Jim Morrison's like, well, it was just a lesson to teach you that like you could do something if you wanted, even if it didn't work out. And they're like, what does that mean? But then that's all forgotten, whatever. That's the other endings. So then he's like, where's Cassandra? She said she'd be here. So he calls her father, and her father's like, she's getting married to Bobby. And Wayne's like, what? So he goes after her, gets to Cassandra, goes to the church, yells out her name. She's like, Wayne, and they go and run off, go back to Wayne Stock, and then the band starts showing up. So we got Aerosmith and some other people that we didn't recognize, but you know, we're not like 100% on the classic rock, classic rock.
Still
but
debatable.
like
Anyone
rock.
else showed up though? I think it was just groupies that came out of the stretch.
No. There wasn't. That is another band that comes out. That guy at the end.
Why aren't they
super
credited?
Familiar. I don't know.
They're not credited.
I
in the
don't know. I
credits.
don't know.
I'm just saying.
So we presume that Wayne Stock was a big hit. At least Aerosmith was there. So great, whatever. So that's the movie. So basic plot. Just a lot of bits.
Yeah.
A lot of funny lines.
Yeah.
Funny scenes.
Story, like, believe in yourself. Because I guess, like, Jim Morrison wanted him to put on this concert to prove that no matter what he did, even if he failed at something, Cassandra would still love him.
Yeah.
So it was all about keeping Cassandra, like, in his life, essentially. So I hope they made it.
I think they did.
They made a lot of little Wayne
They
babies.
made it through the first one. They make it through this one. I think that's it. I mean, they should have probably gotten married after the first movie. Like, what are you doing?
That's
Maybe that
weird.
was Wayne's purpose. Become a husband. I'm just kidding.
Goof.
Yeah.
Is he a good boyfriend? I don't know. And you never see them kiss.
Yeah, we did notice that. Maybe they
That
didn't
was-
like each other in real life.
Or maybe they were just like, that was not in like someone's contract. They're like, I can't do it.
Maybe.
Right?
I don't know. I just think it'd be weird. Like, I don't like to see Wayne sexualized at all. It's uncomfortable.
That's not the point at all. But
Yeah.
like, and Garth gets a kiss in this one.
No. Yeah, that's true. Well, that's very funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so what should we talk about first? A long list of Sweetie Confusions.
Yeah, sweet confusion and questions. Okay. So my first one is both of the Sweetie Confusion and question.
Whoa. Okay.
Your mind is going to explode.
Whoa.
All right. So I think we talked about this in the first one, but their use of the word pubes was like internally confusing to me. As a kid, I really didn't understand what the hell that meant.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell are
Me too.
pubes? So in the beginning, he's like catching kind of breaks the fourth wall and is catching everybody up on like his life. And then he talks about Garth a little bit. And he's like, oh, like, by the way, like Garth finally got pubes. And as a kid, I'm like, I'm trying to even remember what I even thought those maybe were. Don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway, so that's my Sweetie Confusion.
Okay.
But my question is, why didn't Garth get pubes until he was 26?
That was my question too.
What?
Really weird,
So
Garth.
he was like a bald baby down there?
Garth, I think you should get that checked out, man. It's very unusual.
I mean, he's got a lot of hair on his head.
right. I mean, maybe it's blonde, so he didn't notice it.
Like, I don't know. I mean, it's a funny line, and then then Wayne gets into the car, and Garth is like, "You didn't tell him about my pubes, did you?" And Wayne gets his face, and he just kind of looks back at Terry and Ted or whatever the other guy's name
What is that other guy's name?
A long beak nose guy? No
Yeah, what
idea.
is his name?
Let's say his name's Ted. I feel like that fits.
I don't think so. We'll better look that up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a great scene. Yes, also confused by that highly. My big confusion was, so in this one, a lot of the jokes I just didn't get when I was little. We talked about this a bit when we did the first Wayne's World, about how we may have not gotten like any of the jokes, but they still were funny to us because of the delivery and the way that they do the lines. But
Well, this one especially, if
Yeah,
you haven't
this one
seen any of the
especially.
classic movies they're riffing on.
if you haven't seen these references, kind of like Gremlins 2, you're like, oh, I don't really get that.
Yeah.
But
still
I
funny.
assume it's funny, so I'm gonna laugh. But the main confusion for me when I was little, and something that like I still didn't really get until like a few years ago, because I still maintain that it's like a confusing line. So there's like a double joke talk here where they in the beginning are trying to go backstage at the Aerosmith concert, and the gate gets locked on them, and Wayne's like, wait, well, my girlfriend's in there, and then the backstage guy goes, a lot of people's girlfriends are in there. And like that was a joke. And I remember our mom and dad like laughing at that, and I was like, I don't get it. Like I still was like, what? And then they do it again at the end when Bobby tries to get into Wayne's stock, and then the Chris Farley character is like, a lot of guys' girlfriends are back there. So so it took me like a really long time to figure it out. And now I get it, in that like everyone, like groupies had boyfriends. They were just always hanging backstage like trying to get some.
Yeah.
Okay. Right?
Yeah. Hard rock guys, like,
Yeah.
get everyone's girlfriend, right?
Okay.
Like,
So
yeah.
but it was still confusing to me. For some reason, I don't know what else I thought it could have meant, but it just was like a big question mark for me for so many years. And then, so then some of the references I didn't get, the Kenny G one, where someone mentions
love that
Kenny
scene.
G to Garth, and then Garth's like, Kenny G, and then he has like a little thought bubble, and he envisions he's at a Kenny G concert getting his teeth drilled. So I thought,
Okay.
so I thought that joke meant that like listening to Kenny G is akin to getting your teeth drilled. That it was like such a horrible experience, like you may as well be getting your teeth drilled. What did you think it meant?
So I think it could go like that joke is sort of multifaceted. Like a beautiful diamond.
Wow.
Okay, so I thought it meant that it reminded him of getting his teeth drilled because they play that kind of music at the dentist office.
That's definitely what
Okay.
it is. I mean, I recognize that now. That, like that's
Yeah.
what that joke means, and it's so true. There's like there was and most dentist offices now are pretty hip, and they're like they play like cool radio stations or maybe even like a Spotify playlist.
Yeah.
But back in the day, they would like turn on this one radio station that only played like elevator music and like easy listening, which was just all Kenny G. So that's where that joke comes from. Definitely 100%.
Such a good
Any
one.
other Sweetie Confusions you have?
I have my list here.
What about the one where Wayne kicks Cassandra's dad's nuts, and then those two
And the
brass balls fall out?
Oh, I thought it was those balls that like people had for a while on those boxes, and they would like what are they, like energy balls or something?
Well, those are small, but like these are a little bigger, right? Like I just didn't get it because like I just didn't get any penis jokes.
Yeah. No, I mean, do you like? Were you like, oh my god, are those his real balls?
Yeah, I think I was just like, what's happening here? Like, what is this? Is that what balls are? Like, I don't know. I was just very confused about penises. So, yeah.
I think, okay, this is going to make me sound like really dumb. But I think that part where they do the, they're pretending that the speaker is broken and they drive up to the Makita's drive-thru and they're like, we'll have a box of Ullers and elk shake. I can't even do it that well. Garth does it horribly, by the way. Like Mike Myers Wayne is so good at it, and like Garth does it, and he's like, jelly donut. Like he still says jelly. I'm like, dude, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I don't think I got that they're supposed to be pretending that the speaker is broken. I think that I was just like, whoa, they're like talking funny and trying to like freak out the guy and like the
well, because
the
it's
booth.
the thing above the drive-through says if we get your order wrong, you get it for free.
See, I didn't even know that part.
Tonight?
Yes. That is like that is new information for me. This is amazing. I'm still getting stuff out of this movie. This is
That's
great.
why they were doing that, is so they could try to get it wrong. But the guy was like so good at like listening to any kind of like things. So did you, question for you, as we know, or fans of the podcast know, you once worked at Wendy's. Did you ever do drive-through?
No.
Damn it.
I made the sandwiches, but I never had to communicate like on a headset.
I always wondered like what the audio was like on the quality
It's
on
pretty good.
those things.
I mean, I had to listen because I had to make the sandwiches. So you're like, you don't get. It's kind of amazing, really, because you don't have like a screen that tells you what they're ordering. You have to listen and remember and make it. And you're making them so fast that you just, it's like kind of a fun game. It's like they have a whole thing with the clock. There's like a clock there that's constantly timing you, and the information gets sent to Wendy's headquarters. And then you get like fast as Wendy's in the Northeast. And we like got these pins one time. It was like kind of amazing.
It's crazy, man. Whew. Okay. So good joke.
Good joke.
Another one I didn't get was when Del Preston is like, Woodstock, like that was a good concert. And then Wayne's like, Woodstock, cool. What was it like? Adele's like, well, it rained all morning and then it cleared up in the afternoon. And they were like, that's it? And he's like, oh, I almost remembered something else, but it's gone. Like, I didn't get that at all. I was like, why don't they remember it? It's weird. And now I get it that like everybody was on so many drugs that like they just don't have any recollection of it. So like, do you think that was the general consensus? That was just like,
portrayal.
what a waste. You don't remember anything that happened? Boo.
God, that Del character.
Oh, so funny.
Slays.
Yes. Do you think, is he your favorite character?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I would agree. He's just that. I mean, that actor's not British in real life, right? That was a fake British accent.
No, he is. I looked it up because he was on like Law and Order UK.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He's great.
Turncoat.
I just love him, and we have so many favorite lines that are just Del's lines.
And this one, because of the popularity of the first one, they ended up getting all these like celebrity cameos in this one. So obviously like Christopher Walken, good one. Drew Barrymore, Kim Basinger.
Charlton Heston.
Yeah, Charles. I mean, so they got all these, that token Asian guy who plays like all the Asian character actors or parts. So obviously like we're riding on the like wave from the popularity of the first film. So like cool for them, and those parts were pretty funny, just like little bit things. But like other than that, I just have like my hilarious scenes. Like my whole notes are like a name and an exclamation point.
Me too.
Or like a line and exclamation point. So like I think it's just gonna be us like telling like all the funny parts, huh?
Okay. Sure.
Hold on, I just want to make sure. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, first, actually, before we even get into that, I just want to talk about the 90s Aerosmith
fascination.
Yeah. Aerosmith, old band, right? Like, which was really fascinating to find out when we were kids, because like they became suddenly huge. Not that we thought that they were like a new band, but I think anyone who was like born before before us were like, okay, kids, like Aerosmith is an old band. Like, wake up and smell the roses. But we didn't know as kids. We were just like, man, Aerosmith is like so cool, but not knowing like their kind of early days.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So good, guys.
So let's just like tip our hats to 90s Aerosmith. What an amazing time. Remember when they were like the coolest? I think we talked about this in Ace Ventura too, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Because they have that song in Ace Ventura, and then Mrs. Doubtfire, Dude Looks Like a Lady. Yeah. But I think that, so like I hate Don't Want to Miss a Thing from Armageddon. Like I hate that song so fucking much. And that really soured my opinion of Aerosmith in general.
I think that's when they were on their way down.
No, I think that's what was responsible for like their main trajectory.
Okay, because my Aerosmith ones are like we talked about before, crazy. Janie's got a gun, and crying, right?
Right. Which I think was due in large part to the Alicia Silverstone music videos, Crazy and Crying, which were really good music videos, but just like cemented Aerosmith in a lot of people's minds. So I think that was probably why they had such a big resurgence in the 90s.
Yeah.
It's just a thought,
Right.
just a guess.
And then they went super pop
Super pop.
with that one song. I'm just saying.
With which song?
I don't want to miss
no,
a
not that
thing.
song.
Even when I dream of you, the sweetest thing I'll never do. I still miss you, babe, and I don't want to miss a thing.
I feel okay, so like confession, I have actually never seen the movie Armageddon, probably because
Oh my
of
God,
that
can
song.
I tell you the ending?
I
It is
know
the
what the
fucking
ending
worst.
is. I know everyone knows what the ending
When
is.
he pushes Ben Affleck
out,
and
and then
David's
Bruce
like,
Willis
"No!"
dies. Yes.
Oh,
also,
man.
if you've ever seen the music video, it like gives everything away.
God.
So like whatever, TRL.
It's
Whatever.
a really bad movie.
Good, and I'm never gonna see it because I hate disaster movies. I find them very unhappy and upsetting.
You know what the only thing I like can't stand about it is how like ridiculous that plot is. Like they like land they're like oil drillers and they like land on the moving asteroid and like drill into it to put a nuclear bomb into it before it explodes. Fuck you.
It's really dumb.
Never happened.
Yeah, never happened. So yeah, Aerosmith, good times. Still kicking though. Still
Are
alive
they?
and kicking.
As a band? I
No,
wanna
like as people.
I want to really
Like,
read,
how old is Steve Tyler
Joe
now?
Perry's biography, memoir. I think he wrote it. Because I feel like they have some cool like stuff in that band because they didn't speak for a while, like Joe Perry and I almost call him the Aerosmith. Steven Tyler.
What time?
Huge feud. I don't know. That's why I want to find out. That's why I want to read
Oh.
it.
Remember, our aunt taught somebody's. Was it Joe Perry's
The
kid?
drummer,
Which one's the drummer?
the bald short one.
Not Joe Perry.
No.
Oh.
Joe Perry
I
is
always
the
thought it was Joe
guitarist.
Perry. I know, but I thought it was like an important one.
Or the
Okay,
bass player?
so I guess our aunt taught the drummer's kid in school, and she had a parent-teacher conference with him, and that was like the talk of the town, like at our Christmas parties. we like
Did we
bring
tell
it-
this story
bring it
before?
up. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Call Kathy. Kathy.
Go, Caddy.
So yeah, good story. So Aerosmith, cool.
Wait, did you tell the whole point of the story?
No, what was the whole point of the story?
So the guy is sniffing crazily, he's like
oh, I don't remember this.
the whole time, and this woman's the fellow teacher who was also in the parent conference was like, "Oh my God, do you have allergies? Like my allergies are so bad too. Do you need a tissue?" And he's like, "No, I'm fine." And Kathy was like, "Hello, like a cokehead."
What? Still?
Yes.
Oh my God. Crazy.
Yeah, or probably far worse drugs than that. But.
Crazy. Also, remember in that video, Liv Tyler's in one of those.
Yeah,
and she's
as a
like
friend.
weird and sexual, and you're like, this is weird.
What's the video for Janie's Got a Gun?
I don't
Remember
know.
that? It's pretty dark.
Not really.
Janie's
Well, you
got
might be
a
confusing it
gun.
with Jeremy from Pearl Jam, where it's like, Jeremy spoken class today.
Hey, Pearl Jam was supposed to be.
And
at
then you
Wayne's
see
Stock.
shots of the kids covered in blood. It's scary. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, what were we talking about? Aerosmith 90s.
Yep.
But what were we?
I was just bringing that up.
segueing
Just because they
Okay.
feature so prevalent
So
in this
now-
movie, they go to the concert, their
beginning,
concert,
yep,
and
and
then they're featured as
first
the
to arrive.
Wayne's, the Woodstock, Waynestock, front
Wayne Stock.
runner. What's that called? How do you, lead a concert.
Headliner.
Headliner.
Showboat? No, yeah. Okay, so favorite parts.
Got a gun. That's me in my head all day.
Favorite parts.
Favorite parts. I mean, there's just way too many. It's so bad. I mean, ones I say, the quotes I say the most. Okay.
Well, so
Okay. I'm just going to go in alphabetical order. I mean, not
alphabetical. What are you doing with your notes, man?
Oh my God, I'm crazy. Yeah. Okay. So the backstage reject part, so good. So they go to the concert and they have these awesome backstage laminates, and they're backstage for a while, but then there's a second backstage area that they miss getting into, and then that's when the part where the guy's he's like, "Oh wait, my girlfriend's in there," and the guy's like, "A lot of people's girlfriends are in there." So then they end up getting stuck in this backstage area full of these reject concert goers who are all super weird looking people.
Who still got backstage?
Yes, we still get backstage. And these guys eye them, and they're total nerds. So they come up to them, they're like, "Hi. Well, you like the guy? You like that guy's from Wayne's World?
Wayne's
Wayne's World. He's like, how'd you get here? My mom gave me $1 and dropped me off at the park and ride. Took me 1 hour door to door. Oh man. So like I cannot see a park and ride sign and not say that line. My mom gave me $1 and dropped me off at the park and ride. That is fucking funny.
That's another thing. I had no idea what that was when I was little. I was like, what is a park and ride? No clue. We also noticed on this viewing that one of the concert nerds is Bob Odenkirk.
So crazy.
So weird.
But didn't he do writing on SNL? It must have been how he like knew all those people.
Yeah. But I just had no idea. It was just like, what?
Yeah. Also, we didn't mention yet, but okay, people from Babes in Toyland are like in every movie ever. That movie is like
Googie Grass and Drew
Yes!
Barrymore were in
That's
this.
what I was thinking. So if you like Babes in Toyland, like horrible movie, but really good movie, but horrible movie really. But like all these people really made a career, so good for them. Anyway, if you remember from our Babes in Toyland podcast, Georgie Porgy is played by this actor called
Googie Grass.
Googie Grass, like weirdest name ever, but we love you, Googie. And anyway, so he's a security guard, totally crazy. And he's the one who says a lot of people's girlfriends are in there. So
and
good for you, Googs.
Googs.
The Googster.
Good job. Okay, yeah, so that's a great part. The part I had next was when they go to see Del Preston. And they're like, check out this scrapbook. So it's like Del's scrapbook of when he was a roadie for like all those years. So it's like all these old bands. So Wayne's like, wow, look at you and Bob Dylan. Like, look at you and blah, blah, blah. And so prior to that, Del kept being like, my old lady put that scrapbook together. Like, she was with me with all the concerts, put this scrapbook together. So Wayne's pointing out all these people. And then he like turns the page and he's like, who's the old lady?
Just like how he delivers that line. He like yells it.
Yeah, it's like
he's so excited. Like he thinks that's some great like rock person.
Who's the old lady? That's my old lady. So now whenever we see an old lady, we like say that. I don't know how many old ladies we're seeing where like we need to see that.
Well, I think if we like rehash stories or like we say we saw something, we'll be like, yeah, this old lady was like, and someone will be like, who's the old lady?
Good one.
But okay, dumb Emily is dumb. Yeah. Does that mean like his mother or his wife?
I think it's supposed to be like his. It's supposed to be like his wife or whatever, his girlfriend, but she must just be really old looking.
Well, no,
so,
so I think the joke is, as I'm explaining this joke, that's very sad to me. You use the term "my old lady" as like your wife. So when he was like my old lady put that together, they're thinking, oh, his wife put that together.
That is who put it together. His wife is just old looking.
No, but
yes.
I think no. But wait, I'm so confused.
So they were expecting, when he's saying my old lady, I'm sure they were expecting him to like talk about like his young hot wife or whatever. Yeah. But his old lady is actually like
he has
older.
I don't think it's his wife though. I always thought it meant
Why
his mom.
would he just refer to somebody as an old lady, as his old lady?
He has an old lady who like follows him around.
Okay, it's weird. Well, if you have opinions about that joke, please contact us on Twitter,
totally wrong.
And we can.
I don't want to see the Twitter
we'll
backlash.
debate it.
I always am
no, you might be right.
Right.
Don't tell mom the babysitter's dead. Keith Coogan confirmed you were like at least a little bit right.
I'm always a little bit right.
So it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a good part. And then the next best part is when he's telling. So Del has all these stories, right? So he's telling all these like road stories. So he's got a great story where like one night, he's like, this one night in Sri Lanka, formerly Ceylon, we had to get 1,000 brown M&Ms in a brandy glass so Ozzy wouldn't go on stage that night. So he like drops all these musicians' names and he's like tells me there's a sweet shop around the corner. So like me and David Crosby
and Keith Moon
go to the sweet shop and they've got, instead of like a guard dog, they have a bloody Bengal tiger. So he like his accent is just like going off the rails. It's getting weird.
A bloody Bengal tiger. The best part of this for me is when he says the tiger, like I took care of the tiger with a can of mice.
No, mace. Oh my God, this is horrible.
That's why I looked at you when we were watching this, and I'm like, what is a can of mice?
You looked at me, like you just looked at me like, oh, that's funny.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, I wanted it to be a can of mice so bad.
What's a can of mice?
Exactly. What is a can of mice?
You shake it up, give it to the tiger. He's like, oh, I ate too much and passes out.
Because I was like, oh, it's a big cat. And I was like, maybe they're in India in Ceylon, and maybe they have like cans of mice on the shelf. I don't know. That is funny. Okay. So it's a can of mace.
Yeah, so he uses the whole can of mace on the tiger, takes him out. And he's like, but the shopkeeper and his son, that was a different story altogether. I had to beat them to death with their own shoes. I just love saying that. But I also like to point out that Wayne's World taught me a lot of things. And it definitely taught me that Sri Lanka was formerly Ceylon. So now I have that knowledge in my back pocket, and it just really comes in handy. So it's great.
It's good.
It's great.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Man, I like that story too because it's been like known that rock stars have these like weird little things that they need in their green room. You know, the thing that's like backstage.
Their writer.
Their little, yeah. So they like, have you ever seen like Mariah Carey's like list of like the random shit she needs in her dressing room? It's like the most bizarre shit ever, and you're like, you're spoiled, and fuck you. It's like crazy.
I think when you get used to like, what would you have? Like, what are the things that you would need before like performing a concert? Food. You like what food would you request before you went on stage? For instance, it'd have to be like gluten-free stuff. So it'd be like. You can't even think
I
of
don't
it.
have like stuff that I need all the time. I'm not that kind of a person.
You need it, but like once you so think about you're on tour, you're doing concerts every night.
Yeah.
Like you need stuff after a while, I think, and you get like accustomed to certain things. So like for me, I'd probably want like seltzer and like things like that, maybe some chocolate, maybe some peanut butter
You're
cups.
one of those people who's really like certain things and you just like them, and that's like you always have them. Like
So maybe Mariah Carey's like that.
this is crazy. I will look it up for you.
Fine. But yeah, it's a great story, and he keeps telling it throughout the movie, and like forgets that he already told people about it. So there's like a running joke where people are like, "Oh yeah, okay," and they're also a little weirded out that he killed someone with their own shoes. So that's good.
Ready? Here
Yep.
it is.
Mariah Carey's writer.
So, well, this is like a lot. Who do you want to hear?
Oh.
Beyonce, Adele, Kanye West, Rihanna, Justin Bieber, Katy Perry, Taylor Swift, Sir Paul McCartney.
Someone we don't like.
Mariah Carey.
Okay.
Here's hers. Okay. Mariah Carey's demands. Mariah Carey's list includes 8 tall leafy plants, Jo Malone vanilla candles, 2 vases of white roses, and drapes around every perimeter. The demands. Each room must be draped. Black drapes are fine. The entry door should open into the living room space, not the dressing room. Temperature should be about 75 degrees. 1 3-seat couch, plain color, no busy patterns. Black, dark gray, cream, dark pink are fine. 12 1 liters of Fiji water, 3 bottles of Chardonnay, chilled. 12 Coke, 12 Diet Coke, 12 vanilla protein drinks, 6 sparkling water, 12 melon flavored Gatorade, 6 red wine glasses, 6 white wine glasses, 4 Jo Malone vanilla candles, 2 vases white roses, fried chicken, warm, 12 small bottles of water, room temperature, 3 whole lemons and honey, sugarless gum.
Why did she need red wine glasses when she didn't ask for red wine?
Oh my God, M&M's is like fucked up trailer trash shit. This is crazy. 25-pound dumbbells, 24 Diet Coke, 12-ounce Diet Coke cans, ginger ale soda, Dasani Poland Spring 12-ounce bottles, no Evian. 1 loaf of white bread, 1 loaf of wheat bread, 6 Lunchable snacks, 3 turkeys, 3 ham with cheese, 6 cans of Red Bull.
No mini pizzas, M&M? What the
16
fuck?
cans of sugar-free Red Bull, large fresh jumbo shrimps with cocktail sauce and plenty of lemons, and 1 jar of banana pepper rings. Okay. God.
So I get the food stuff, but I don't get why Mariah Carey needs 8 plants
Exactly.
or drapes.
Oh, these are
or like
great.
the couch can't have a pattern on it. It's very bizarre. Yeah, so those are great. We'll look into those
We'll post them
in
these. They're
detail
so good.
later. Okay, so next favorite part. What do you have?
Okay. Can of mice check. Kenny G check. Okay. Partial ocular albino. So they go to the permits department, or like the Parks and Recreation department, because they are going to rent out Adlai Stevenson Field to do this concert or whatever. And so they go, and it's like this funny scene with that actor is Kevin Pollak, I think, right? And
right.
He's wearing sunglasses, and he's telling him like basically like what you need to do to get the permits and everything to get this field. So then he takes off his eyeglasses, and he has 1 blue eye. And it's like this giant eye, it looks like, and 1 brown eye, and they can't stop staring at
white
it.
eye.
Oh, it's white.
Yeah.
It looks like blue almost.
It was albino, so
Yeah,
it's
there's no pigment in it. So he's like, what are you staring at? And they're like, I'm not staring at anything. And there's this like hilarious interchange where they're trying to like not look at it. And like my favorite part is where like Wayne is like looking at it and he's kind of like
Zoning out,
daydreaming.
yeah.
And then he like wakes up and he's like, oh God, so funny. So then because they like feel bad about staring at the guy's eye, they avoid any mention of the word eye for the next like couple beats. And it's hilarious. So he's like, okay, like I'm a partial ocular albino. Like I'm not ashamed of it, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, why should you be ashamed of it? Like we don't know anything. What's wrong with that? What it like eye or whatever like that. And then so they go into talking more about the permits and they're like, wow, you really, so you want to put on this concert, huh? And Wayne's like, I'd give my right eye.
Whoops. And they're like, oh crap. And then the Garth one is, I have an eye. I have a real eye for detail. And he's like, no.
And then the best part is like, okay, like fill this out, blah, 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 in triplicate, like bring it back, whatever. And he's like, we'll do. Like, we'll make sure to cross all our T's and dot all our. And like everyone stops in the room and is like just like looking at Wayne to say eyes. And he goes, lowercase J's.
So good.
That was my favorite forever.
Me too, yeah.
Always.
Real classic. I think it was one that I like put in my instant messenger profile. Like I would just like put like funny movie quotes. That was totally one I must have put in there. Love it. Okay, so then I have I like stopped writing them down after a while because it was just too much. So, well, Garth at the laundromat. So Garth's like doing his laundry for the first time ever. And he meets Honey Hornay, who's played by Kim Basinger, and she's like kind of coming on to him, and you're like, what's going on here? So then his dryer dings, and Garth's like, oh, finally, it took like 2 hours. And you're like, what? So then he opens it and takes his clothes out, and all of his clothes have shrunk to like tiny doll clothes. And he like folds the little shirt, and he's like, then he gets embarrassed and just throws them all in the box. And then he's like turning to go, and she's like, oh, Garth. And she like has this little teeny tiny pair of tidy whities. It is hilarious. But I love when Garth's like, I like them teeny and toasty. It's a good one.
I just love how he doesn't have a laundry basket. He brings his dirty laundry in a cardboard box.
It's like first time doing laundry.
I know.
Like,
they're
out
just
on
really
his own.
growing up. So that whole thing is kind of funny because they have Kim Basinger come in as like this sexy, you think, divorcee, and she's kind of like coming on to Garth, which you find out eventually is because she wants someone to kill her husband. But it's like his first time like ever being sexual with a woman. So he has like a sexual experience and then turns into like a weird form of himself where he like wears a bathrobe and smokes a pipe and has like flat ironed his hair. I don't know what was up with that, but it was funny as fuck.
So funny. I love that look. It's great.
Right. And so, yeah, so they have like all these like funny like interchanges. But like, again, like good for you, Garth. Like great year. A, got pubes. B, lost your virginity. Like, what? And I loved how, like, they didn't have any fights this time. Because I was really sad in the first one.
that
That they,
is
like,
sad.
got into, like, a little fight.
I know.
But, yeah. So, cool role for Kim Basinger. She's so pretty. But, like, where the fuck did she go?
I don't know.
Anyone seen Kim Basinger in a while?
Kim? Where are you?
Kim?
Hello?
Anybody?
We don't know. Look it up.
Come at me, Kim.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Good scene.
Yeah, so that's good. One I use all the time is that, and is this from is the They Tell Two Friends another movie or anything? No, okay. So, he's having like a little intimate moment with Cassandra, and they're like kind of like fooling around, quote unquote, in her apartment, but they don't like actually touch each other. They have a very strange platonic relationship. They should break up.
We just said they were gonna
I
make
know,
it.
that's weird. So he's like, and why does that start again? Because he's like, Are you
having an affair with Bobby?
And he's like, oh, where'd you hear that? And he's like, I don't know. Like,
You know how these things.
Yes, how these things start. Like, I tell a friend, they tell two friends, they tell two friends, and so on, and so on, and so on. And like the TV splits into like every time he's just saying it, it just gets like exponentially bigger, like all these people. And like I use that all the time.
Me too. It's just like, because we're just gossipers.
Yeah.
We're just like always talking about the gossip, hot
They
goss.
tell two friends.
So I
and
think that's
so
where
on,
we
and so
use it a
on,
lot.
and so on.
One other one that we like to use a lot is when after Wayne is spying on Bobby and Cassandra, and they're dressed in different. Wayne is like a telephone repair guy. Garth is a policeman, a guy's name we don't know is a motorcyclist, and then Terry is a Navy guy. And then Wayne's been spotted, so he like slides down the pole, and Garth picks him up, and he's like, Wayne, he's like, let's run away. So I feel like we always say that when we've had like a really bad day or something, we're always like, let's run away.
I love that whole scene. It's like
that's
flawless.
a really good scene.
So they chase them down. Bobby's chasing them, and they end up at this gay bar called the Toolbox. And then they find their way on stage because they think that's like the only way out. And the DJ sees like essentially what is the village people lined up on the stage, and he's like, "Ha!" And he like puts on the YMCA record, and then they do this like hilarious lip sync to YMCA. So good.
What? So wait, at that point, are they supposed to be in Chicago?
Probably because it's a city. Yeah.
Doesn't the Toolbox look exactly like the bar and Adventures in Babysitting? And then they go out that alley, and there's that chain link fence there.
Maybe.
Whoa!
Oh my God, we should look that up. That might be a trivia thing.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I love that scene. Perfect. What else? Also, speaking of other bars, there's this like hilarious bar called Comrades in this, which I love that. There's a bar actually in Boston called the People's Republic, which is also a communist bar.
But like, what is the point of that? Like to like make fun of it?
Well, this was like 93, so like making like a little post USSR joke or something. I don't know.
So it's not actually run by like communists.
No. But like they're all dressed like communists, and there's like the Lenin statues and like all that stuff.
Interesting.
But that was funny, and I love it. It's called Comrades, and that seems pretty funny. Mini Tramp and Diarrhea. God, I love that scene. So they're like going to, where are they? At the records?
The radio station.
The radio station. And Drew Barrymore is this Swedish receptionist. She's from Sweden. Her name's like Gergen Kajurgen or something like that. And like Wayne starts talking to her, and he's like, oh, like, and he's like, where are you from? Sweden. And she says whatever the village is. And he's like, oh, is it near the Bajurgen Falls or something like that? And he did a report on Sweden in the 4th grade or 8th grade or something like that. So he's like, let me see, is your average rainfall between like 40 inches and 200 inches in the summer? And like your main export is modular furniture. IKEA. Yeah, right.
I get it.
So that's where it's so funny. He's like, yeah. She's like, oh wow, that's like so great. And he's like, yeah, I like stayed up all night working on that project. And then I was so tired. And then the next morning I got diarrhea on the mini tramp in gym.
It just like comes out like diarrhea. He just like keeps talking. He's like, I really wish I didn't tell you that.
And like, I mean, this is the thing with like this kind of humor is that, okay, diarrhea is like always funny whenever you talk about it, right? But the fact that he like slid in the mini tramp part is like what kills me. Like diarrhea is already funny, but the fact that you're like, all you can imagine is this little kid like jumping on one of those mini tramps, you know, when they have like the handles over it.
Yeah. I didn't have
their
them.
pants. I mean, that is the funniest image like ever. I love this movie.
Pretty great. Pretty great. So then the next one. So there's all these like parts where Dell's teaching people to be like better concert to roadies, basically. So there's like a backstage and a front stage crew. So they're running all these drills where they have like a mic that they pull down that falls, and they have to run out there and get it while Garth is like pummeling them with tennis balls. So then at some point Dell like takes out a stage replica, like a mini stage replica, and then is like, this is what we're gonna do, and he like just like the backstage and the front stage, but then he's like, and then observe here, there will be 2 like assault rifles, and like starts talking about all this weird like gun talk
And the cyanide pills.
and he's like, if you are caught, like I will dispense these cyanide pills that you will then take in your mouth like so. And Garth looks at Wayne and is like, what the fuck? And then Dell's like, any questions? And Garth raises his hand and he's like, yeah, I got a question. When did you turn into such a nut bar? Which we love to say all the time.
Nut bar. So good. Again, like that's just like so fucking funny.
Right. It's like, when did you turn crazy? That's not funny.
Yeah.
But when did you turn into such a nut bar is class. I don't know. It's just great. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it's just like the brand of comedy here is just this like silly yet clever comedy. So they like play on words that like and kind of make up shit that like kind of has not happened yet in terms of like the word nut bar. Mm-hmm. And like, I don't know, that's just so funny. It's just such my kind of humor. Like I don't even know if I can explain it any further than that. Yeah, so good. So then it goes really to the piece de resistance at the end, which is, and I think did we already say yet? So they spoof a lot of movies in this, as we said. So Field of Dreams, if you build it, they will come, becomes if you book them, they will come for the concert, right? Jurassic Park, we missed over that one, but they do this funny thing where they get lost looking for like the location where the concert's going to be in the park, and it's dark, and they do like this hilarious thing where like the Tyrannosaurus Rex scene, right? Turn off the light.
What year was Jurassic Park? 91?
90?
Okay.
Yeah. They spoof some kung fu movies in that like scene in the middle where the dubbing, right? And then they spoof an Officer and a Gentleman. That one's kind of hidden in there.
There's a bunch that are hidden in there.
Yeah, like it's hard to even like pick it up. But then the big one, because they make like a whole like set piece out of it, and they kind of build it throughout the movie, is the end scene from The Graduate. So if you've never seen The Graduate, Dustin Hoffman like porking his girlfriend's mom, beautiful.
But she
actress,
wasn't
Anne
his
Bancroft.
girlfriend when he porked her in the beginning.
Were they just friends or something?
I'm pretty sure. He just drops her off one night and then she has sex with him, and then he falls in love with the daughter. I think that's how it goes.
So anyway, so he's like, so in that movie, like the girlfriend or whatever is getting married, and he finds out, and he like goes to the church and tries to stop the whole thing. So similar to the end of this movie where Wayne finds out that Cassandra's getting married, and he's like, I gotta go stop the wedding. So it's like classic stop the wedding, like end of a movie or part of a movie. So they do it like beat for beat. Right? Like all down to like the
crazy,
kind of car, stops at the gas station. Like talk about the Charleston Heston part.
So he stops at the gas station, asks for directions. He's, excuse me, do you know where Gordon Street is? And the guy's like, Gordon Street, right. I knew a girl on Gordon Street once. And it's like really weird acting. And Wayne's like, do we have to put up with this? Like, I know it's a small part, but can we get a better actor? So the producer or whatever like comes in with like his headset.
I love that part where he just like shuffles that guy off.
And he like moves that guy away, and then instantly Charlton Heston like comes on instead, and he just starts delivering this like amazing monologue. He's like, Gordon Street, and he like goes into like this great scene, and then Wayne like cries like a single tear. He's like, thank you, and then like is off. It's pretty great.
Too bad Charlton Heston's a nut bar.
I know, yeah, I'm talking about nut bars. But yeah, so
he's dead, right?
Yeah, no, let's see, look it up. I don't think he's dead, but
wow, it must be like 1,000.
well, he's like, I feel like the NRA would have had like a massive funeral not celebration, but like memorial about it, but whatever. Yeah, but that scene is beat for beat. So we watched that scene directly after this movie, and it's exact, like the camera shots, just like so many little things are just all there. So that's definitely the biggest reference they do. I don't think there's any other like main ones we missed, but like I said, there's a lot of small ones. Like there's a small nod to Rosemary's Baby when Garth has sex with Honey Hornet, and he comes out, he's like, I hope I wasn't too much of an animal last night. Which is, I guess, Rosemary's Baby. What you got? Did you find it?
Yeah, look it up.
Oh
yeah, no, he died. Oh wait.
Oh shit.
Okay, I was like, because he must be like 1,000
Damn
years
it!
old.
I don't remember that.
Of pneumonia.
Guess I blocked it out.
Guess he wasn't like.
I don't really care.
Well, 1923. He died at age 84, so it was
okay.
Super
All right, fine.
Yeah, so that's hilarious. Like I don't know like when they decide, like how they decide to do that, why or something like that, but it works out like so well, and it's really
great.
funny.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are like the main scenes. Obviously, a lot of funny lines in there that I'm sure we didn't talk about, but they're there.
What's your favorite line? Hit us up.
Of all time.
Oh no, I'm just the listeners.
Oh, I was like, God, I can't pick one.
Let's take callers.
Carol?
1-800-SWEETIE. Yeah. Oh, but we did discover there's like a Sweetie part of this that we totally forgot. So this is another good funny scene where they're like promoting Wayne stock on Wayne's World, the cable access show. And they start talking about that movie, The Leprechaun. And Wayne like holds up I don't know if you remember that horror movie. It's like a leprechaun terrorizing people. And Wayne holds up a flashlight and he's like, I'm the leprechaun. And he basically does the voice that he eventually adopts for Fat Bastard, if you are like a Mike Myers fan.
Who's Scottish, though.
Yeah, but like basically the
yeah.
same. I'm the leprechaun. And like Garth hates it and he starts freaking out.
No, he like has like a meltdown, and Wayne's like, sweetie, I'm here. It's me, sweetie. So I looked over at Sweetie and I was like, is this where we got our sweeties from?
Oh God,
Who knows? It's
it
just
might be just like implanted
just
in there,
right?
We didn't
And
even know.
it just happened, and we
God, I
went
love
away
it.
with it.
Where are you gonna go? You're gonna go to Ireland.
Ireland. Great. It's
So good. But yeah, I mean, this movie is just, if you want a good laugh.
Yeah. Laugh after laugh. And I hope we're not the only people that think it's funny. I'm pretty sure we're not. Especially people that like Wayne's World definitely love this movie, because I've talked to many fans who love this. I have the double DVD set of Wayne's World 1 and 2. Yeah. And it's just a great time. I think it's a really good sequel, and I think it did a really good job of taking it to a different place and just working in a lot of new jokes.
Yeah.
And it's not all the same jokes. There's definitely new ones.
Right.
So I applaud it.
Oh yeah, and it just fed, like, you know, as we've talked about, what's the point of sequels, and this is definitely one that just like fed the hunger that people really like these characters and wanted to see more, and wanted more of this like brand of comedy, which like Mike Myers then like, you know, forayed from this into what was then his next level of stuff, which is Austin Powers, which we are going to cover.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, he had a really good really good
whole
run
90s.
with like the 90s and sequels.
And early,
like,
90s and the early 2000s.
Because all the Austin Powers sequels were also successful. Same with Shrek. Like, he just knows how to nail the sequels, I guess. I don't know.
Right. Like, keeping the same thing, but kind of making it fresh. Because that's the thing with the Austin Powers ones, that it was like kind of the same. You know, they you know, put in a couple of the same jokes in there, but they really like changed it up. Kind of for each one, using like the time travel and the decades and stuff like that. Man, Austin Powers, that original one is fucking funny.
So good. I can't wait. So if you love Wayne's World as much as we do, please come find us on Twitter. We are at the Sweetie Club, and we're on Instagram at Large Marge Sent Us. Please come hang out with us. We'd love it.
Yeah.
Please do. Please do. Please, 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 please do. Cool song.
I am sleepy.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you for hanging out with us. And thank you, as always, for listening.
Yeah.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye.